Joining us now is Hunter Bratton, a Dillon Hall senior who is running for clean water. Hunter, welcome to Notre Dame Day.
Hello, Emily. It's nice to be here.
Well, just to get started, can you tell us how you got into running?
Yes. So my freshman year in the fall, I started climbing a lot at the student center. And over winter break, I wanted to get in better shape for climbing. So I started running. Initially, I hated it, but eventually I fell in love with it, and I chose that over climbing. And ever since, I haven't looked back.
That's great. Well, how did you find the mix between your passion for running and then giving to others?
So my freshman spring, when I was still getting into running, I was looking for an opportunity to combine the two, and I found out that I could fundraise for Team World Vision while running the Chicago Marathon. So I signed up for that, and the next 6 months or so, I was training for that while fundraising with World Vision, and I ended up raising over $5,000 or over $6,000 for their clean water initiatives, which was water for about 120 children. And then this year, I am signed up for a 50-miler and a 100-miler, and my goal is to raise $10,000 or more than that, for clean water.
Wow. And what inspired you to run for a cause, and particularly for clean water?
So my senior year, I read this book called The Hole in Our Gospel, and it talked about how the American church sometimes focuses too much on itself and forgets to look abroad to the needs of other people around the world, especially in light of Christ's call for us to go out into all the nations. And in this book, it talked a lot about one of the biggest problems that the people in developing nations face is they lack access to clean water, and thousands of people every day die, just because of infectious diseases that are totally preventable if they only had clean water. And so I suppose I was a little frustrated by this because it was something that could be prevented if people just had clean water. So I just wanted to do my part in helping to overcome this challenge.
Well, the Dillon Hall community, of course, is pretty tight-knit. How has the Dillon community helped you in your races thus far, and what can others do to help?
Yeah, so all my friends are very supportive. They think I'm a little bit crazy for all the running that I do, but nonetheless, they support me. One thing they have done recently is contributed to my donation page, and if others would like to, the link is bit.ly/HGBTWV2021. All donations go to World Vision, and I'm very appreciative for anybody who gives to the cause.
What are the next steps you plan to take after this year?
I'm not entirely sure yet, but there is this race. It happens every October in Utah called the Moab 240. As you might imagine, it's 240 miles. And so there's that one. I also would like to, at some point, either run the whole Appalachian Trail, Pacific Crest Trail, or across the country from LA to New York at some point. And while doing that, continue fundraising for World Vision and set a much larger dollar goal when the time comes.
That's really, really incredible and impressive, Hunter. Thank you so much for everything you're doing, and thank you for joining us for Notre Dame Day.
Thank you for having me.